All right, so I got way too much going on this morning and today to make any kind of in-depth or highly produced video. But I just wanted to talk about Star Trek Discovery, first two episodes. Oh, that's nice and hot. I'm a big Star Trek fan for sure. A lot of friends and family members are as well. And so certainly fun to talk about. And I like Star Trek. It's a great show. So anyway, I did get the CBS All Access thing to be able to watch both episodes yesterday. And it's free for like a week, $5.99 after that a month. Sadly, I might give it one more episode, but I don't know if I'm going to stay subscribed to it, even though I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and I'll get into that on some other points. But I'm going to do this little review, commentary, blog, vlog, whatever you want to call it. Good, bad, and ugly, right? Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the really bad. So, all right, jump right into it. So the good, there's a lot of good things about it, for sure. I think the opening sequence was pretty cool, definitely fresh and different, although I don't know how long that could last. I mean, it's an opening sequence, no big deal, but I think like Game of Thrones at least, changes it up as different plot points change and stuff, which I thought was cool. I will say it's kind of like a new, type of opening sequence. It's very reminiscent of the Daredevil opening sequence with the soft music and a lot of the animation. Also kind of reminded me of Westworld or whatever, but it was cool, hip, and fresh, and I was smiling watching it. Again, I don't know how long that might last. I think also, too, the design of the Federation stuff was all really cool and looked pretty good, and I could see that fitting into canon. I think the ship designs were actually a little bit cool. And I purposely didn't watch a whole lot of the analysis or commentary type of stuff that's on YouTube, breaking down the ship design and the costumes and all this kind of stuff. I wanted to give it a fresh, fair chance myself. Especially a lot of Star Trek shows and a lot of just TV shows in general. The first episodes are not really received that well typically, and just torn down by critics, which more often than not are just people hating. So I wanted to give it that fresh chance, just for my opinion, and I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the design of that was good. Now, on the other hand, I think the Klingon stuff is way crazy. I don't see how they say that's canon, but whatever. The design in general, even though the Klingon stuff I think is not canon, it's designed very well and looks cool. The special effects are great, movie level. They definitely spent some money on that and made it look great. I think the casting was done very well. They got some good actors, and the people are cast in good roles. I do think that seemed good casting to me, although I think some of the characters are kind of weak. But anyway, moving on with the good stuff. Now, a little bit of spoilery type of stuff here, too. I'm talking about plot points and certain scenes, so a little bit spoilery if you haven't seen it yet. You should go watch it. But anyway, I think that one of the awesome things about, especially the first episode, was the first Klingon space encounter, where the main character, Michael, where she goes over to the sensor thing or whatever that they can't detect to look at it in her, space suit, and encounters that Klingon space warrior in the space armor. I thought that was awesome. It's something never really seen before in Trek, that like space battle suit. I thought it looked really cool, and it also seemed very practical to me. It just was pretty amazing, pretty badass. Also, what was kind of interesting too, they had accurate ship angles. So like what I mean, a lot of times in sci-fi shows, and it gets criticism, is two ships will come up to meet each other or whatever, and they're always on a nice, even, flat plane. And when these ships first encountered each other, one was at this angle, and the other one was kind of like at that angle, and I think that's a little more accurate. Especially right at first, and then maybe they would level out just for the heck of it in real life. But I just thought that was kind of a cool little twist of accuracy. And moving into the second episode, I think the transporter room looked really cool. The big battle scene, again, spoilery, in the second episode, they have a big space battle. Looked great special effects and stuff. I even like that they threw out a Worker Bee shuttle reference. So pretty cool. Now, let's jump into the bad. First of all, again, some spoilery stuff. The first scene, like, why is the captain down on this planet just to shoot a rifle down the well? I mean, I think that would have been done by a science officer or whatever. Maybe it was a lightweight mission though, and the captain would go out on such a lightweight mission just to get in the field. I don't know. I mean, hey, it's just plot and storytelling and setting up and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I don't know. Just like, ugh. I also, a couple different just bad things. There's another part where she has to go make a interstellar phone call to Sarek, the Michael character, and that just like happens instantaneously. Did you notice that? Like, it's like, oh, I got to leave the bridge for something. It's an emergency, and she goes into her quarters to call Sarek, and it's like instant that he just picks up. Like, Sarek's not doing anything. Can see like, okay, he'll be here in just a second. It's going over 1,000 light years. It's just whatever. It just seemed weak as a plot point. Another bad thing I think is the Klingon ship design. Now here's the deal. They very prominently have displayed in a lot of their marketing that this is 10 years before Kirk and Spock and whatever else. That Klingon ship design doesn't look like, and they also say that this is Prime Universe, so not any J.J. Abrams universe, not some other alternative timeline or anything like that. Not a reboot, but actually part of the Prime Universe with the original series, the Next Generation, whatever, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, blah, 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 even though I find Enterprise hard to believe is part of the Prime Universe too. But whatever, but these Klingons, design of them and their ships, nothing of that looks anything close. Like, if you didn't know that they were Klingons because they said they were Klingons, they would look like a different race entirely. And I have to say, even the J.J. Abrams Klingons, at least when you saw them, you thought, okay, I could see that being Klingons. When you see this makeup and effect, I don't see them as Klingons at all. It looks like a totally different race to me. I think they just overdid that. And the ship design looks nothing reminiscent of your classic Klingon ship design from color palette or anything. I just think that's a really bad flaw, bordering on the ugly side of things. Now, also part of that bad is you had to see it as this Prime customer, which I'll get into a little bit more of that in a minute. It was like, I don't know. That's an interesting business model. It'll be interesting to see if it works. I frankly don't think it will, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second, and why that's really ugly. The end music, really soft. I really didn't like the end music. It was the end credits all lackluster. Like, nobody cares, but they didn't do the ending with any kind of good pop, right? They didn't do a credit roll with one little cut scene at the end teeing you up for something next season. I think that's a missed opportunity. I think that is a pretty standard storytelling thing, certainly that a lot of movies do today with the end credit scene. I think with some engaging music and more than just basic font credits at the end, with the promise, I was hoping to see a little pop at the end of something, even if it's something funny or whatever, teasing up the next episode, just 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever. I think that's a missed opportunity because that's definitely a common, maybe it's not common enough. I think it's a cool storytelling thing to do these days. And that end music, it starts out like one of the weak tracks from the latest Tron movie or something. I don't know. So also too, I think it was sort of cheesy. One of the plot points where the captain's going to sacrifice by driving the bomb in or what. I don't know. Minor, but let's talk about now the ugly stuff. Okay, so this is good, bad, ugly. We've talked about some good things and some bad things, but here's the stuff that's completely ugly, egregious, unforgivable, in my opinion, just totally ridiculous. Okay, and a lot of it has to do with CBS. So first of all, the start time. All right, I was ready to watch this thing at 8:30. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of free time. I work really hard. I've got multiple jobs, got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. I was looking forward to some downtime. I was ready, had like my dinner set up, snacks, beverages, whatever, all set up, ready to watch it at 8:30, and it doesn't start till 8:48 because of the stupid 60 Minutes Oprah thing. Like, they apparently rebooted 60 Minutes last night with Oprah as the host and this whole political topic or whatever. And guess what, man? Like, I'm like many people are so sick of all this media, political, divisive type stuff, no matter what side of this thing that you're on, no matter how important you think your point is about it. And there's important points. I'm not going to get into that. That's great and all, but you know why I wanted to watch some Star Trek with my very limited free time is because typically it's about a future that's a little more positive and it's an adventure and yes, it's an escapism, okay? And I was ready to watch that at 8:30. That's certainly some first world problems I'm bitching about here, okay? But still, I just wanted to watch my freaking Star Trek at 8:30. I was ready to do so, okay? And it was preempted by that stuff. So ridiculous. And you think just a week before with the Orville being preempted by football and how much that really pissed off the fans, they would have thought something of that. But here's the thing. I don't think that was a mistake. I think they did that on purpose and to even try to increase the ratings artificially of the stupid 60 Minutes thing. Not saying that the point of the 60-minute things was stupid, just saying that it was stupid that they didn't follow their own schedule. And I think they did it on purpose. And I think it's very disrespectful to people that were tuned in to watch that show. Now, I also had subscribed to the CBS All Access thing because I wanted to watch both episodes. So I thought, well, okay, surely it's over there ready to stream at least by 8:35 or something. No, make you wait all the way till 8:48. So it's just ridiculous. I think it was a planned thing by CBS to try to increase the end ratings of the whole CBS 60 Minutes thing. I just think it's, even if it wasn't planned, the worst case scenario, it was a planned, stupid thing to try to increase ratings. Best case scenario, they just dropped the ball on that when knowing that they've got a very devoted fan base to this other show of Star Trek, to not be on time like that, just very, very bad. So the next thing that I thought was really bad from CBS 2 is the ad volume. Okay, so if you're watching it streaming, they like kick up when the ads come on, the volume kicks up like at least 20%. That's an old school tactic by TV companies to try to make the ads stand out. Just makes me hit the mute button and not even pay attention. You know, people like Cartoon Network with their nighttime stuff, you know, their Adult Swim, they do a great job by threading the ads in, kind of making them cool and fun. And certainly that's a whole different format here. But they need to take cues from that. I'll actually watch those ads if I'm watching that, and some other shows that do it in a smart way. But when they jack up the volume and blast it at you, they're not even doing their advertisers any favors, because nobody likes that crap. I hit the mute button and don't even pay attention. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just, again, it makes me think CBS planned the whole late launch time thing too. Like, oh, we're so smart and so ad savvy. Bull crap. Nobody watched those ads because of that. Jacking up that volume like that is bull crap. All right. Anyway, then we have on the initial streaming, there was 4 different times where it skipped on me with 2 or 3 minute intervals. 4 different times, like around 7 minutes, 21 minutes, 28 minutes, 35 minutes. I took notes, and it's some key points too. I had to go back afterwards. About 20 minutes later, I said, well, let me at least go back and try to watch it now. And then it would actually play through the whole scene. I think that was just a glitch. I would imagine their system probably did get overwhelmed a little bit. Maybe there was a lot of people streaming it, and maybe they had some glitches. And, you know, whatever. That can be somewhat forgivable. But then again, you're a major network, CBS. You're the one putting out this whole streaming thing as the way to watch it. You know what? It should have been bulletproof. It should have been ready and scalable to handle the load of millions and millions of people streaming it potentially. And it didn't. So that was really frustrating in that second episode with all the different pauses and time jumps and lost, pieces, especially at some critical plot points where you then had to go back and watch it to see the whole thing. I'll say one final thing too, okay, that's in my ugly column that's just unforgettable and stupid, is really right in the first sequence with the captain and Michael going and saving the little alien's well or whatever. And at the end, they get picked up and they show the ship. And she's like, oh, I do have a star, blah, blah, blah. And they pan out and you see that they walked in a circle to draw the Star Trek, the Starfleet emblem, the little A-looking thing in the desert. I mean, that was, my hand hit my forehead like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. The episode got way better and whatnot, but that absolutely should not have passed the editing room. Maybe a fun idea to explore when you're, coming up with your different scenes or whatever. But whoever was in charge of this, just from the person that in the room that was the most biggest fan, which I imagine and I know you can look and see they do have some people working on it from previous Star Trek stuff, like that should not have made it onto the episode. That's so stupid and corny and just ridiculous. That scene in the sand with that emblem in the sand. I'm sorry, but that is just piss poor stupid. Okay, so anyway, that's my good, bad, ugly review, Star Trek Discovery. Now, I will say, at the very end of all of that, too, though, the next trailer that they showed that showed the rest of the season and some highlights, it's interesting where they're taking the story with the Michael character. Definitely a little more gritty than some previous Star Trek series. It intrigued me. Of course, they tease some like Harry Mudd and some other type of stuff. It looks interesting. Looks great. I'm definitely going to watch the next episode because the CBS All Access is free for the next week. So I'll check it out for one more week. After that, I don't know if I'm going to give them $6. I think I could just wait till it comes out on some other format if they don't really do it well. Because, I mean, not that $6 a month is a lot of money, but that is the only thing I would watch on that CBS All Access. And I know what they're trying to do from marketing perspective and all that, but, we'll see. I also will say, just finish up one final point. Hey, maybe comment down below or whatever. Like, I don't see how what I watched last night, although it was good and is definitely Star Trek, I don't see how it's Prime Universe and canon, and especially with the Klingons. I think this Klingons are wrong. Anyway, I got to get back to freaking work. This is already like 20 minutes. Have a great day. Comment down below. Like the video just for the heck of it, and I'll see you later.